This is Mateo, and whatever you do, don't lose a battle against the people in this route. Because if you do, your character will find it the better idea to go all the way through Rock Tunnel again and go to the Pokemon Center at Route 10, provided you even went to that Pokemon Center, although I don't see why you wouldn't, rather than go to the Pokemon Center that's in the town, like 10 feet away from you. For some reason, your character is geographically stupid, and I'm English stupid. Oh god, it's another troll hiker. Well, that is yet to be seen, however, it's another hiker. But yeah, that reminds me, one time in Pokemon White, I was in one of the very first towns, and then I used Fly to one of the last ones in the game. And somehow all my Pokemon fainted, I don't even remember how. But it said I ran back to the Pokemon Center, and I was all the way in the Pokemon Center at that town, very, very far away. And I was just looking like, why would you run that far? You passed at least 10 Pokemon Centers and 10 rest points, because there's a rest point on every route. And you went to there. So yes, your Pokemon character is geographically stupid. Either way, we are almost there. Yes. And I'm going to evolve a couple Pokemon that are close to evolving, because the levels of the random encounters in Rock Tunnel are kind of high, pretty good for this point in the game. And there are a whole bunch of Pokemon that are near evolving that I want to take care of. And then we can move on. Also, we have a whole bunch of story stuff coming up, like a whole bunch of story progression and whatnot, coming up very soon, so yeah. That's a giant building. Everything's purple now. Welcome to Lavender Town. Just a little side area, pretty much no gym or anything, unlike most of the other towns we've been to which have had a gym in them. I mean, all the towns actually that we've been to have had a gym. Even Viridian, although that gym is closed for now. So yeah. So yeah, just going into the cave to level grind some. We can have Drowsy go up to level 26, and he can evolve into an old favorite, Hypno. However, I'm not going to use Hypno, as I've said twice before, I think now. And the reason why I've said twice before and whatnot. And also, ironically, on the Pokemon anime, I'm on episode 27 right now, which is Hypno's nap time. So if you're wondering how far I am into that, that's where I am at the moment. And at level mid-20s, Paris evolves into Parasect. He basically loses his pupils, and his mushroom gets bigger. And he gets slightly bigger as well. And at level 16, Squirtle will evolve. Although I'm curious, because Ash now has 5 badges, and he's at episode 27, and there are like 84 or so episodes in the anime. So that means that he has to go through 57 episodes of doing absolutely nothing except for some gym badges. Which means that he must be doing a lot of screwing around. But oh well. And after evolving those couple Pokemon, we can continue on to the next route to the left, because there really is nothing that we can do here yet. We need to get a certain item to be able to go into that giant building, which is actually a tower. Either way, carrying around Charmeleon for a while, because we have nothing else that can fight against bug and grass types, because Pidgeotto still has yet to learn a flying type move, and we also need him to evolve. Also, we're just basically carrying all 3 of the starters in their second form, as well as Pikachu and Dugtrio at the moment. So that's basically type coverage reasons, as well as evolving, because out of all my Pokemon, these guys are probably going to evolve the latest so far. They all evolve around 30s, mid-30s, or whatnot, except for Pidgeot. they evolved the latest Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto also evolves into Pidgeot at like level 30, 36-ish. So yeah, this guy uses fire type voice crack. He uses voice crack type Pokemon, I mean fire type Pokemon. And I only remember that because he was the very first trainer in game in Fire Red that I saw switch out his Pokemon in the middle of battle. And that was strange, so that's why I remember him specifically, although he didn't do it in this game. We're still just going to have Wartortle use some bubbles. If I can find the Finding Nemo clip, I will put it in. Otherwise, you're just going to have to know what I'm talking about. Either way, if you use, I'm used to have Ivysaur, no cut. If you use cut on this tree here, you can go into the area which has the grass for this route. So, can we find anything in there? No, nothing new. Could have sworn you could find Growlithe there, though. Maybe that's just Fire Red. Okay, I need a strategy. Okay, lots of attacking moves that your Pokemon are weak against. Okay, there we go. Actually, yes, I do have that. Go Dugtrio, who's much higher than all the other Pokemon. Mainly because he's so useful at this point in the game. So many poison types, so many fire types. So many rock types, not so many electric types, but he was still useful for that gym. Just ground is so versatile, being super effective against 4 different types. Although it doesn't affect flying, why would you use it on flying? And it has normal types, just in case. My rule is like something like, at least in this game, to have stab moves, maybe one other move, and then a normal type move. At least one other normal type move, just in case they have to do fighting against something that they're not all too great against. But that rarely ever happens, because I usually just switch into a different Pokemon. But you never know, that Pokemon that I might need could be fainted or whatever, so I just had this planned out pretty well. And luckily, Pokemon abilities were not invented yet, so I was able to use the ground type attack on that Coughing, who would normally just dodge it. And for a second, I was wondering why Dugtrio was learning Bite. No, that was Wartortle. But again, it's another normal type. And he's going to stay in school, which sucks for him. But whatever. So many trainers just standing around. Yes, you do look very silly. That was a late response on what she said. Oh well. And Bite's a normal type. I'm pretty sure I already said that, though. Yay. So yeah, I would have recorded this yesterday. However, it was raining like all day, and I didn't, like, whenever I thought about recording, there was just like a thing of thunder, and I was just like, okay, never mind then. By the time it did stop, it was kind of late, so I just said, okay, forget it, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'm not purposely going for like an episode every other day. I would love to do an episode every day, but the forces of nature just aren't letting me at the moment. I mean, I was sick a couple days ago, and then I recorded part 11, and then the thunderstorm yesterday, and now here we are today, and so yeah. Although that thunderstorm was very much needed. My god. This heat wave, and I'm pretty sure the heat wave is back now, so hooray, I guess. No, absolutely not. Okay. Anyways, however, I did figure out VideoPad in my absence, and by that I mean I figured out how to get the free version that they were advertising earlier, the completely free version. So, hooray for no keygen, no hacking, no torrenting, no nothing. So, I believe it's all completely legal. I mean, I did it without keygen or torrenting or anything. I didn't steal the program. So, yeah. I'm probably going to do an actual widescreen test soon enough, just to see how, for me, just to see how it would look on YouTube. And yeah, it's pretty much what I've been up to. I've also gotten some progress on Spyro 3. I'm around 70% of the way through the game, and once this is done, I'm thinking of what to do next, because I'm almost done recording this. I do know that I want to do something with live commentary. Now, whether that's Spyro or something else, I do not know yet. and whatever the something else may be, you shall not know. I'll probably do it after Spyro if I decide to do Spyro first. But I'm probably only going to do Spyro first if I complete Spyro 3 by the time that I'm done with this game. And I really think that's completely possible. I'm almost done with the third out of 4 worlds. I have the first 2 completely completed. And once I'm done with the third world mostly, all that I have to do is go into the 4th world, free the animal buddy there, go back to the 3rd and do his little bit in the other level, and then I'll be done with that world. And then I can just go from there. But hooray for being completely descriptive. I'm trying not to spoil things. But, oh well. Using Charmeleon on coughing for whatever reason. What happened to Doug Trio? Oh well. Charmeleon grew to level 23 at least. God, Doug Trio would be perfect for this battle. What happened to him? I wasn't paying attention. Did he faint? I really don't think so. He only has 60 HP at like level 30. Whereas Charmeleon has 64 at level 23. So that just goes to show you how little HP Doug Trio has. But really, that's the only bad thing about him. And with that, he is super effective against 4 types. Completely resists electric type. And yeah, so his goods kind of outweigh the bads. I really like Doug Trio, and I don't know why I didn't use him before. I didn't really think about it. I mean, before in Fire Red. I mean, I caught him to go against the electric type gym. And that was it. After that, I just kind of put him in a box and left him there. Like most of my other Pokemon, because as I said earlier, I never used other Pokemon except in dire situations. I just went through the entire game with Charizard and brought him up to like level 92 until I finally beat the Elite Four after many days of trying, which is what brought him up to level 92. Although I had like a level 40 Machoke because I was trying to evolve it into Machamp, because as I said earlier, Machamp was like my favorite Pokemon at the time and I didn't have one and I really wanted one. So I trained it up to like level 40, 45-ish, trying to get it to evolve. I didn't know that you had to trade it. So I had a level 40 Machoke that I used as basically item fodder. So I could send him out to go and use items to revive and fully heal my Charizard so it could do more damage. Oh, I found something. I think it was a nugget, maybe. However, with the whole item healing thing and stuff, is that I was fighting against your rival and his Arcanine, and it kept on using extreme speed, which was barely... which my Machoke was barely surviving, so I kept on healing him, and this went back and forth for a very long time. Until I went for an attack, and I barely survived. Was able to knock him down to, I'm pretty sure I knocked him out with that. Either way, I won the battle. So, hooray for that! Oh yeah, let's go grab a super secret Pokemon. There's the rather yeah, it is rather inconspicuous. I mean, other than the 2 trees missing, you really don't know that there's an entrance there. However, if you go in here, talk to this Pokeball, you'll get an Eevee, which is the starter your rival chose, but now you have one. Unfortunately, you can only get one in the game, and it can evolve into 3 things. So, yeah. But whatever, we have an Eevee. And maybe we have another new team member, maybe. But the question is, if it's going to be on my team, which of the 3 evolutions am I going to evolve it into? Well, let's go find out. There's a store here that sells the evolutionary stones except for Moonstone. So basically, fire, thunder, Water, and Leaf Stone. And since Leafeon wasn't invented at this time, and it doesn't even evolve by Leaf Stone, then that's out. But what could it possibly be? TV Game Shop. Okay, here we go. This is the floor. It says Wiseman Gifts, but then it talks about Element Stone, so the 4th floor is very important, because this is where you get all your evolutionary stones. So I'm going to buy 2 Leaf Stones for Weeping Bell and Gloom, and a Firestone. But, what? Well, I guess you can guess by now. And by the way, you can't use a Thunderstone on Pikachu to make it evolve. Your Pikachu will refuse. And this is the only Pikachu that you can get in the game. So you're going to have to go catch another Pokemon in Red and evolve that Pikachu. However, which Pokemon will I evolve into?